Hey guys, and welcome to Cinematography Database Show Episode 2. This is a new setup, and today we're going to be talking about the cinematography of Drake's Hotline Bling. We're talking about the music video. Get ready for that. Okay, so let's talk about the cinematography of Drake Hotline Bling. If you haven't seen the video, go watch the video, come back. So the first thing that struck me when I saw this video was like kind of the simplicity of it. You know, I think the execution, and we'll get into the execution, was incredibly sophisticated. And while it's sophisticated, there was something like really simple about it. It kind of felt like an Apple commercial, you know? And the Director X basically said that he wanted this to be kind of a throwback to the older music videos where there wasn't as much cutting. You know, this music video has a lot of, if you can call them, like long takes, like just pushing in, and it's you just really hold and you watch Drake doing his dancing. Everyone knows about the Drake dance, and I think it was clearly successful. You know, I think the song was a hit, and then the music video just made it like explode, and that's the best thing that can happen for you as an artist, of course. And as a music video director and DP team, really, is just to have the perfect song, the perfect visual, and just making fireworks happen. And I think Director X did like a really good job with that. So let's get back to some of the details about the actual shoot. So Hotline Bling was produced by a creative group called S8 Group. And I don't know a ton about it. I did a little bit of research. S8 Group, Director X is part of it, and they're kind of like a creative, collaborative agency, production company type of hybrid situation. That's my take on it anyway. I'm probably just a little bit wrong there, but the production company was technically Creative Soul, and the producer was Evan Landry. And now this was produced in Toronto, the actual production of it, and it was shot at Toronto Revival Studios. So if you're in Toronto and you need a big white cyc, and we're going to be looking at a lot of photos of the actual set, hit up Toronto Revival Studios. There's clearly some cool and talented people in that community. Maybe I should move to Toronto. And they produced Hotline Bling up there, so it's good stuff. Next, I want to talk about the DP. The DP's name is Adam Marsden, and Adam is signed to the agency Sessler, which is a talent agency. And if you guys don't know about DP agencies or below-the-line agencies, we'll be talking a lot about those on the podcast that I run called Modern Cinematographer, and we're going to be talking about them a little bit here. I know that's like really interesting to a lot of DPs who are kind of established but haven't hit that point where they're signed. We're going to talk about that. And we're going to be talking about the agencies themselves, which I think is really helpful. I wish the people had done that when I was first getting started, because I had no idea. I had no idea what was going on. So check out Sessler. You should be Googling the people that I mentioned in this video if you really want to get into the industry and understand how it works. Check out Sessler. Adam Marsden, the DP, is signed to Sessler, and the production designer who designed the sets for this, which was obviously a big part. His name is Jeremy McFarland, and he is also part of Sessler. So that's where there's this synergy, right? You have this agency of cinematographers and of production designers, and some have more. I think Sessler really just focuses on those two groups, and Adam and Jeremy have probably worked together before, and you get this kind of cool group of collaborators that come from agencies, and that's why directors and producers will sometimes seek out who's your new cool DP? Can you send me some reels? Oh, also send me your production designers. And if they've worked together, there's this like kind of cool thing that happens, and that's kind of the best situation that can happen at a below the line agency like Sessler. So that's a little bit about the production and about the DP and the production designer. So let's talk about the actual set. And the way I found out about this, full disclosure, is that Jeremy McFarland did an interview with Azure Magazine, and I'll link to that actual interview. So I'm going to be kind of paraphrasing what I learned from that interview and sharing that with you guys. And the video starts, and Drake is in this box, right? And he's standing there dancing. He's doing his Drake dance, and the camera is pushing in and out. So when we look at that set, you're seeing in camera that the lighting is changing. It starts off like blue, then it goes red, then it goes. Those are the colors I can think of right now. It goes between a couple green. That's not the color. It goes between a couple colors. So like, how is this set changing colors. Like what's happening? Is it plexiglass? Is it colored plexi? I guess it couldn't be one color plexi because the color is changing. So what's going on? But basically, the whole set is made out of what's called white spandex. That's what that's what Jeremy, the production designer, calls it. I don't know what white spandex is. If you're in the production design world, you're like, oh yeah, white spandex. Like I don't know what white spandex is, but you can imagine it's probably like a muslin type material, like cloth, like a fabric. I think it probably just has really fine grains, so you don't pick up on the texture of the weave. And basically, all the sets were steel truss, which is like what you see at an event. So they have these like steel truss structures, like these boxes, these gigantic picture frames basically, and then they stretch this material, this white spandex stuff around it, and then they backlit it with LEDs. And now the LEDs that Jeremy and that Adam were using, they're the chroma Qs. So if you're interested in like industry level production LEDs that can change color, they can change white balance, they can obviously dim up and down. Most of this stuff is done remotely through DMX or even wirelessly. I've done a couple shoots with some of the chroma Qs before. Those are them. Go Google chroma Q, check them out. I know that they're used a lot in New York City, and apparently they're used a lot in Toronto. They're also very popular on the event scene. They're primarily like an event wash light. I'll show some pictures of the chroma Qs. I've got 3D models that work for my cinematography design, and they can really pretty accurately emulate what the real version does. And they're kind of these long rectangles that have a ton of LEDs in them, and they just have like a really nice output, and they're nicely controlled in nice rough housing. That was the workhorse of this entire music video, and you can see in the set photos for the top box they lined this large white spandex ceiling piece with the LEDs, and as they shot colors into that spandex absorbed and became the light source. It became that color light. So as you change the color of the lights, the color of the actual wall would change too, and then that wall is what was emitting light. I'm saying wall and it's up here, but you know what I mean. Like whatever surface the LED lights hit, that surface became the light source as well as the practical background. So it's a cool trick, and it's used in television and events, and it was just this kind of like perfect storm of execution. To key him, they used another chroma Q that's kind of like this gigantic LED spotlight thing that, again, you can change all the colors, the same color spectrum as the chroma Q color force lights. And you'll see in the photo, it's on this really big cherry picker. And that allows Adam to move the key light wherever he wants while not getting in the way of the techno crane. So it didn't want to get, you have your key light here, and we have our Scorpio crane telescoping in and out, kind of doing dolly moves. And you don't want to have like stands. You want to be able to just like arm out the light wherever you want and not mess with the techno crane doing its dance. So you'll see that in the set photo. Pretty cool. So that's like a quick overview of how the set was built and how it was lit. From there, it was just kind of like Adam and Director X's kind of lighting design at that point. You're kind of choosing like, well, the ceiling is going to be blue, and let's make the walls like pink, blue, and then fade and change that. It became a design challenge after that, but that was the technical part. And Jeremy and the art director, who I'm forgetting that person's name right now, they said that it was a 5-day build, which was really stressful. So this is kind of good to know as you're looking into stepping into projects like this, from the art department, from the producer, for the director, for the DP, to anybody. When you're looking at Hotline Bling, this took them 5 days to build those sets and to test them, test the different materials. They built a staircase that was free floating. Read the article to learn more about the staircase. I'm not going to go into that. And 5 days was hard. That was really, really difficult for the art team. That was like a big challenge to get it done in 5 days. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. I hope you learned something about the Hotline Bling music video. I remember when I saw it, I was like, how did they do this? I mean, I had an idea, and I just dug deep. I used all my connections that I could to find out as much as I could, and I'm sharing that with you guys. So that's it. Let me know what you guys think. Sign up for the newsletter, subscribe to the YouTube channel, leave comments, like it, all that cool stuff. Thank you guys so much. I'll see you guys on the next episode.